G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 22, the Start From Scratch series on Haut-Beyleron. So just checking in here, the sheep are looking pretty decent. Greenhouse has got enough water to carry on. We've got some silage bales prepared in the field. And we also have a trailer load of silage around here, which is not quite ready to be sold, but it will be soon enough. Got plenty to do. It's been about almost a year in game since the last episode. I'm just progressing quite a bit off screen because there's not really enough to keep us going, as in one episode per every month, because it's just going to be watching me doing contracting or mowing the grass on the fields here, so it's not really that interesting. But we need to get up to the other field and we're going to go check on the chickens and see how they're getting on. So here we are up at the top field. You can see I've got some straw bales there left from the previous harvest, and in the field here we have planted canola because I think we have enough we have enough feed, as in wheat, for the chickens, hopefully to get us through at least until next year, so we can sell this canola just purely as profit, which is going to help us to fund other things. We're on the lookout for a new field, and we're on the lookout for a new tractor. This tractor here, I have to service it right now because it's costing us a fortune. It's just doing too much work. It's doing all of the work that we're doing, and the costs for repairs are just adding up. I would say all up since purchasing this tractor and doing all the work and the maintenance with it, we've probably spent more than enough to buy the biggest tractor in the game. So I do think that it's got to be a high priority to get a second tractor, which will just reduce the costs, and then this tractor can become a secondary tractor used mainly for carting and taking goods to sell points and stuff like that, and maybe little bits of field work here and there, but primarily just as a front loader and transport tractor. So we just need to top the chickens up with some food, and you can see there I've got quite a few eggs as well. So that's the first year's worth of eggs, and the best time to sell eggs is in November, so it's coming up very soon. Just got to be careful that we don't destroy the crop. Kind of left things a little bit tight around here with this chicken coop, and the crop might expand the little dirt track that we have, just so we don't run the risk of that in future. But we are going to be buying a new field in this episode because we have the money. The field I've been looking at is about 115,000, which will leave us 15,000 to kind of develop it a little bit. So we'll just leave this grain here in the trailer because we're going to be using it here and there. Chickens like to be topped up every second or third month, I think. Depending on their age, I think they eat more if they're quite old, eat less if they're young, and they all produce eggs. So we'll just have a quick look at the map. This new mod that I have here is called the Time Saving Stock Check. This is an awesome app. Saves you scrolling through the tab below it, searching for the product, where it just tells you exactly what you have, how much you have, current price of it, the sell point, and the maximum price and maximum value that you'll get for it. So it's a really cool feature. It doesn't show me that I have many eggs because I don't have any in the spawn point, but I have a heap on the trailer. So when they come up in the spawn point, it will say you have 1,000 eggs, for example, and tell you where the best price and best place to sell is. So that's really cool. So we'll grab the trailer here. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of eggs on here, so this is just all money. Don't want to double stack the eggs just for realism purposes, because who wants to buy crushed eggs? I know that it doesn't crush them actually in the game, but it is what it is. So I'll just leave this trailer right there. Left it a little bit tight Getting the eggs out of their spawn point there is a little bit too difficult for us. So it's November now, and we'll just check here. As you can see, it says eggs, that we have just over 2,000 liters of eggs, and the price is 1,400 per 1,000. So maximum value over 3,000 there, and that's just what we have in the spawn point, not counting what we have on the trailer. So it just saves us using this menu. So the farm shop is second best. The bakery is a little bit better, but the bakery doesn't want as much quantity as what the farm shop would take, so I don't know if it's worth us bothering going to the bakery, because they probably won't want to take as much, and I don't want to do 2 trips. So you can see what I mean about it being a bit tight for getting the eggs out of the spawn point here. It does take a little bit of going. Well, here we are down at the store to sell the eggs. Here we go, we've got 20,000 liters worth of eggs to sell, so we should get quite a fair amount of income here. It's over 1,000 per 1,000 liters, so we should be looking pretty decent at the end of this. Money is climbing up very high, very fast. Not as high as I'd like, to be honest. I would like to have around 500,000, but we can't. So there we go, 28,500 for eggs. That is definitely worth investing, and all it takes is for me to grow a little bit of wheat and put that into the chickens, and that gives us that much money every year. Alright, time to sell the silage now. We've got 20 bales on board. Should be a decent amount of income as well. Normally get around 20,000-ish to 25 for a whole trailer load of silage bales. Now, the only difficult thing was trying to sell them in one hit. We've got 157,000 in the bank. It would be nice if we got some more. Not quite as much as we would have liked, but there's another 20,000-ish. So that's not too bad. Getting a little bit lazy with the mowing on the small field, because the tractor just can't hack doing the slopes anymore, so I just do the main bit and I'll leave it at that. But we got to go back and refill, get some more bales. Here we go, just loaded up all the bales ready for the next sell. I don't think we'll sell this part trailer load though. We'll do another load in between and try and get a full load away. Otherwise we're only going to be making about 10,000 ish for this load, and if we're doing the trip we want to make it worth our while. So we'll go park the trailer up behind the shed here, so it's out of sight and makes the farm look pretty. You can see that they got the wool there, which is stocking up quite nicely. Now I think we've got enough money, we may as well purchase our new field, which is this one here, field 40, 114,700. We will purchase that and we will shoot on down here. We'll grab the plow because we want to extend it as much as we can, and then we'll get into that. And I think I'm going to plant grass down there to increase our silage load. Okay, here we are with the plow. Got the plow and the seeder down here ready, and this little flat area that we're on, I'm not going to go into here with the plow because I want to keep this area as I want to make it for cows. This is the whole purpose of this field. So this is strictly going to be for cows and feeding cows. To start with, it will be a few loads of silage. We'll get a bit extra while we, because we'll buy the cows young. So we only need to feed them with hay, which we can use our other grass field for. But the other grass field will probably become more for productions. I want to get some factories put up on that flat top land there. That's going to be a good little area for us in the future. So we've only got this month to plant the grass. We don't need to do any ploughing in the middle, which is great news for us. So we'll grab the seeder. Got plenty of seed in here, hopefully this should do it. We've extended the field quite a bit, as you would have seen there on the map. So I just do all the tricky corners and edges, and then I might put a time lapse in, but while we do that we'll just talk about what we're going to be doing here, how we want to progress. So we want to definitely get some cows here because they're going to give us a good amount of money. They're going to give us the milk and manure and slurry as well, and slurry is going to have to replace solid fertilizer, which means we can just get free fertilizer from here on out. Hopefully we can get enough, because once we expand and get more fields we might need to do so we're getting dairy cows obviously if we're going to get milk, and then maybe eventually we might move into just getting beef stock, which will be a good source of income, which will also give us more slurry. So we can't rely on the one dairy farm to give us the manure and slurry, which will make us a very organic farm. That's what we want to aim for. Doing the finishing touches of the planting of the grass, and then we're going to need to get the fertilizer spreader, and we'll put a load of fertilizer down here to increase the yield. Did use a worker for a little bit of it, but it wasn't much. As you can see, $57, basically nothing. But that, I reckon that's about 3 times the size of our previous grass field, so we can just ditch that there, and we need to go up to the other farm and grab the fertilizer spreader, come back, get that fertilized, and then we can maybe focus on getting a shed down and maybe thinking about purchasing a cow shed. And there we have a grass field fully fertilized, which is good. Now we need to let that grow. I don't think we're going to be able to get a cut this side of Christmas in game, but that's alright. So we're going to chuck down another shed here. They're only 5,000 to put down, so we may as well. Definitely going to need it for storing all the equipment that we're going to want down here. We're actually going to want quite a bit of equipment because it's going to be for beef farming or dairy farming. So where's the best spot? Got this horrible tree in the middle which needs to go, I think. Over here is very flat on this side here. Do we want it like that, or do we want it with its back to the road? Probably with its back to the road a bit. It's perfect, I think. I might need to do a little bit of landscaping around here just to level out the land. And we'll just paint ourselves a nice little opening. Probably just dirt is enough. It is a cow farm after all, so we'll just give ourselves a little bit of an access way and enough area to move machinery around an area to come in and out off the roads, and that should just about do us. And then once we get the cow shed in place, which will probably be right in front of the tractor here in that little opening, then we can do some more landscaping, and we might need to level the ground like I said. We definitely want to make this place look like a proper dairy farm, not just everything scattered around. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now we've got 3 fields, one big grass field. We'll just put all this equipment away. So we've got one big grass field, we've got chickens, sheep, soon going to have cows, maybe eventually we'll get some pigs. But I think after we get the cows, I think we probably want to be focusing on the arable side and get some productions happening. We want to grab the spinnery, which will give us money from the sheep, turn it into fabric. Alright, we've progressed a little bit of time, so we've loaded up all of our lettuce here. The second greenhouse is really helping. As you can see, we've got far more lettuce than we did in previous years. We've basically doubled the production, which is great for us. So 20,000, nearly 22,000 there, absolutely perfect. We were only getting about 10,500 per year from that one greenhouse, so it's really good to have the second one. It's going to boost our income quite a bit. It's good to have. And we might as well sell this silage now, because it's going to be a long time before we can even do another cut on the field. So this income might as well be in our pocket right now rather than sitting around. So it's not as much as we would have liked, but it's a little bit. So used market machinery, we have a manure spreader. That is very tempting. We're going to need one at some point, but I think it's a little bit premature to be buying it now. It's really frustrating because I do want to buy it and we know we're going to need it, but we just can't do it right now. So this bale loader might as well live down at the new grass field now. This is going to be where we do the majority of our field work in terms of mowing. We'll have to bring all the other equipment down here as well at some point. So we'll leave this here, and the next job's going to be selling the honey and selling the wool, but I'll probably do that off screen. I don't know if I'll show that in another episode maybe. But a quick look around the farm. So we've got 2 greenhouses, sheep are all good, we've got 2 beehives, so we're actually looking fairly decent. But for now I think we'll just pop back to home, check on the sheep. They look very fit and healthy. Might sell a few of them off as they might be getting on a bit in age, let them reproduce. And wool is in May, so we'll get to that soon. But we're looking pretty good. Still got a long way to go. Obviously we want to become a huge farm eventually, but it's slow going at the moment. So hopefully you guys are going to stick with me throughout. That's why I'm kind of just getting through it. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.